Welcome to As the Key Turns. I'm David Lehman, and I was a guard or correctional officer at the United States Penitentiary in Marion, Illinois for over 23 years. I would like today to talk about something that I've been seeing in the news. Toilet paper. Now, this is what happens. The inmates want lots and lots of toilet paper because that's the way our inmates were. If you give them 2, they want 4. If you give them 4, they want 8. If you give them 20, they want 40, and I really mean that. Dead serious. So, the inmates are constantly complaining to the associate warden, which is the second guy in command. Well, there's 2 of them in those days. There was 2 associate wardens. So there's the warden and the 2 associate wardens, and then all the underlings below that. And way at the bottom, and I mean rock bottom, was me. And I'm the guy that actually hands out the toilet paper. So the inmates are all the time whining and bitching and moaning, and the associate warden would just tell them, well, I'd give it to you, and as much as you want, but those hacks, those guards, those COs, they won't give you toilet paper. I get tired of hearing this. And I said, hey, you want me to give out all the rolls of toilet paper there, Mr. Associate Warden? He says, hey, you do what you want. This is your unit. Oh, it's my unit, and I can make any of these. Oh, sure, yes, you can make these decisions. I said, I tell you what, I'll start handing out rolls by the case. The Associate Warden says, well, it's your unit. They got plenty over at the warehouse. I said, okay. So I walked all up and down the hallway. I talked to the guy in Baker unit, and Charlie unit, and Dog unit, and Easy unit, and Fox unit, and we said, all right, we're going to start handing it out, willy-nilly, lots of it. So I kicked out a roll, or a case, I should say, a case of 96 rolls come in a box. Pushed it out on the one range, and on the other side pushed out a box. And there we go. Normally, our unit would use 1 case of toilet paper a week. Well, now I'm using 2 cases of toilet paper a day. So instead of, and we hand it out 6 days a week. So that means we're 12 cases instead of 1. Well, remember, the warehouse has plenty. So the inmates start stockpiling the stuff. Kind of like recent news events, where some of you all had to have 96 of these to make it through the week, each in your family. Well, inmates do the same thing, and they don't give a crap about their neighbor either. They start stockpiling it. I walk by cells and I see 30 rolls in one guy's cell. Okay, well, the old guys, the really old ones, they would take these tubes out of the toilet paper, stuff it with an explosive material that they made, which I talked about in other videos, and blow each other and us up. So that's why we didn't give it out. Well, somebody finally came to their senses and said, why are we giving these people explosive material? So they stopped doing that. So the actual reason for the strict rationing of the toilet paper rolls had left. So it wasn't a danger to me anymore, unless the guy, filled his cell with toilet paper and set it all on fire, in which case he's in a locked room with a fire. Duh. So after about a month of this, the warehouse surprisingly had run out of toilet paper. And the warden and everybody said, well, we gotta stop this. Why? You're the people that were telling them I was the guy preventing them from having the toilet paper. So why don't you all come down there and say, under your authority, you're not going to allow me to issue all this toilet paper, because the inmates get angry and want to stab me because I won't give them 10 rolls a day. So why don't you quit that game that you were playing about, oh, I would give it to you, but that hack over there won't. That's the kind of thing that goes on in prison all the time, and how a guy like me can get stabbed to death over a lousy roll of toilet paper. So people are all the time saying, why are you so worried and paranoid? Well, that's the reason that I carry a really nice .38 revolver. idiots who are trying to set me up for failure. So, the other thing is, people are going to say, well, why did you return to the United States? Well, overseas right now, due to events in the news, in the village that I lived in, some people were suspected of having a disease that is in the news, and they set the house on fire with those people in it. I know from history that the first thing that you do when something like these diseases go on, this happened in the Black Death in Europe and on the plagues and everything. First thing you do, you burn up the Jews. And I mean, you tie them up, you throw them in a bonfire. The second thing you do is you burn up the poor people. Because everybody knows, oh, poor people have disease and they're spreading this disease. So you burn up the poor people. The third person you burn up is the guy that don't fit in, the one that don't look like everybody else. Like if everybody's brown and he's a white guy, or he's a foreigner and he ain't from around here, that's the next guy that we burn up. So I got to thinking, well, we're starting already on the neighbors, so maybe it's time to let the white guy pack up and come home. So that's why I'm here. You will see some of my other videos, because you people on YouTube are way behind the people on Patreon, and even the people on Patreon are going to see a month or 6 weeks of my videos, because I make them that far in advance so that I can edit them and get them out properly. Now, if you like this video, for goodness sakes, don't be an ass, hit the like button down there, and I promise you, if you subscribe, nobody will die from your subscribing. So, subscribe today, hit the bell so that you'll know when I release the next video, because as current events go, wow, I didn't even expect that I would have made this video, and current events was the ones that reminded me of the good old toilet paper caper where they're trying to get me killed for a roll of toilet paper. So, thanks for watching.